Everybody has a tough time adapting to something. You know, you have to be somewhere, do something which you probably don't even like, or being separated from your families, friends and loved ones. It's awful, I know. I've gone through the exact same thing. As I was contemplating this thought, I asked myself, why not make a story out of this? You know, it would be beneficial for me as I would have something to relate to. So I went ahead, and here is that story. It all starts in planet HB 290108. This planet is divided into 28 sectors, of which sector 6A is the largest and most populous one. This particular sector has been ruled by the eagles. For hundreds of years, they have been the guardians of this land and the protectors of their citizens. But as time moved on, migratory birds threatened the existence of the native ones, and even forced the ruling house of eagles to flee. They decided to go to Sector 7B, where they had a son named Mark Svensson, heir apparent to the throne. This little one grew up alongside the puffins, whose nature was in stark contrast with Mark's lineage. They were shy and abrupt pacifists. To everyone's disbelief, Mark picked up the nature of these puffins and became a pacifist himself. He was really shy and anxious to talk before a crowd. Slightly annoyed by reality, his family decided to give him training to be an eagle, failing every single time. One specific year, however, the Svenssons decided to move into Sector 6A and reclaim their lost dominance. They succeeded, and now Mark lived among the courageous and ferocious eagles of his age. His family was worried for him because he was shy, not like the bold and ferocious eagles who they feared would bully him. But to their surprise, Mark quickly picked up the nature of these eagles, sticking into his nature of being like his peers. And what an eagle Mark was! He was the most ferocious and bold person, coming out to face any adversary and being proficient in whatever he did. He was especially gifted in hunting and navigation. These traits, together with his fondness of learning new things day by day, helped Mark to get everything he wanted. He climbed up the ranks of his friends group and became the most successful young eagle of his age. He was like this for a couple of years until he was an adult. By this time, a deadly pandemic hit Sector 6A, wiping out all of its citizens except Mark. This was the time he realized that he had to move out of Sector 6A in order to survive. So he decided to move to Sector 8B. This was nothing like 6A. It was warm, humid, lush and green like a spring field, which Mark was not accustomed to. Add this to the hostility of the locals towards Mark, made it very challenging for him to live in these conditions. Despite all of this, Mark did whatever he could do to survive. He took up any meager job just for a living, and he was determined to be friends with the locals. So he adapted. He learned the language of the locals and learned their behavior. This allowed him to make friends with them and climb up the ranks gradually. As he was living like this, he was eventually picked up by local eagles of his own kind. They gave him physical training, basic amenities, and an opportunity to work at the king's court. By the time he had finished his training, he received the opportunity that he was promised as a junior navigator. His previous skills in navigation, along with his fondness of being like his peers and treating everybody as his friends, had made Mark a reputable name in the king's court. Everybody who met him left with a smile on their face. This trait also put more faith on the king. Seeing Mark as a loyal subject, a true serviceman, and faithful in whatever he did, the local king decided to make Mark as his successor. By the time it was time for the king to give up his title, he gave it up to Mark. He knew that Mark could make the citizens flourish under his control. And it happened. King Mark the Great, as he would be known from this point on, treated his citizens like gods above anything. He gave them the most priority without caring for himself. He also expanded Sector 8B's domain to cover the entirety of planet HB 290108, thus uniting the whole planet under one common umbrella. The story ends here. Now you may ask yourself, how did Mark get into a position like this? Well, I see this Mark character more like an octopus, shifting, sliding, gliding, and changing according to his circumstances. He knew when to change. He was versatile, and this helped him gradually climb up the ranks and become a reputable figure. And this is what will help you achieve your goals in life. This ultimate tool that I call adaptability will help you to gain whatever you need. You just have to put your mind to it. Well, the easiest way to build up versatility is by learning new things constantly. It can either be a hobby, a new skill, or a new language. Anything that you learn will be put forward to your future. It's like an investment. You just have to believe in it and put yourself into it. So, I advise you, be flexible. After all, you can either be a tall mountain and erode away into nothingness, or you can touch the skies like a big plant without caring for the nature. It's your choice. Thank you.